Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals. Looking for a midweek break from work? Want to see the leaves start to change in the Smokies? Want to book some winter wonderland and holiday weekends in the mountains? Visit ParksideCabinRentals.com this week. Dozens of cabins to peruse and choose from. All right, let's welcome in our VFLs, Sterling Henton and Marlon Walls again. Guys, let's talk some positives here. Whenever you talk Florida, you have to go into the history, and that makes people mad. So you're being negative. We're just talking about reality. Yeah. But let's do some positives. Sterling, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
What position group has made the biggest, this is our progress report, what position group has made the biggest jump, the most progress since last year in your mind, and why?
Well, in my opinion, from last year to this time, the biggest jump, and I might be a little bit biased, is the quarterback position. I'm just going to be candid about it. I mean, last year we were starting a guy who was a phenomenal athlete. We didn't have time to make him a quarterback. Now we've got a guy who's a little bit more seasoned at the position, starting now, who is also an incredible athlete. Let's not discount his athletic ability and the plays he's made outside of traditional quarterbacking. And then we got a guy who is second team behind him, who is developing into a guy where the team is absolutely better with him there. So the quarterback position as a whole, if you look at the production from the first 3 games last year to the production of the first 3 games this year, is just incredible. It's light years beyond what it was. And I'm excited about that because that's an important position on our football team, and getting production out of that position gives incredible opportunity for our offense to score points.
Marlon Walls, your opinion. What position group has made the most progress since last season?
I'm a former defensive lineman, so usually I go defensive line, but not so fast in my league Corso impression. I'm going to go linebacker. I think the emergence of Aaron Beasley next to Banks shows that we've got some 2 guys there in opposed to just 1. Banks had an incredible season last season. Now you got cats talking about Beasley might be out playing him this season, which I think we're going to need that going forward as we run into SEC opponents. We've got to be able to stop some people. We've got a running cornerback coming in here next week. I like the emergence of Beasley. I'm going to go linebacker.
All right, linebacker, quarterback.
And can I add, speaking of linebacker, what Banks did and that hit on the goal line yesterday on that Akron guy, whoo! I heard something out there.
Beasley's leading the team in tackles. Banks, I think, is leading the team in big plays.
And
he knocked down, he got his hand on 3 passes last week. 2 of them went up in the air and they still caught him, but his job is to get his hands up there and knock it down.
He's incredibly active, and I'm telling you, he's bringing some power on those hits, brother.
Linebackers.
All right, very good. In terms of this Tennessee-Florida game this coming week, I wanted to get Josh Ward to talk about, he always does the stats that matter. Well, let's take a look back, Josh, at last year. I know you want to take a look at a stat that might matter this week.
Yeah, we have some stats here that show Marlon's pick, which I think is a good one, is about to be tested. Because look at some of the numbers. Some of these are kind of haunting for fans to bring up from a year ago of what quarterbacks who have the ability to run did against Tennessee's defense, because Anthony Richardson is coming up next. Matt Corral, mobile quarterback, he's not a spectacular runner. He ran for almost 200 yards over and over again, picking up first downs. Emory Jones, not a spectacular quarterback, but he was on the ground last year, almost 10 yards a pop. Go through these 5 quarterbacks that you see on these screens, on the screen. Matt Corral, Emory Jones, Will Levis, Bryce Young, Stetson Bennett. 3 of them had their best rushing games of the season against Tennessee's defense. Stetson Bennett, his 2nd best performance. Will Levis, his 3rd best, but also 2 scores on the ground. He's a bigger running quarterback. These guys were able to do essentially what they wanted to on the ground against Tennessee. That is notable because we know that Florida wants Anthony Richardson to run the football. He has struggled mightily early throwing the football. He has yet to throw a passing touchdown in his first 3 games of the season. So for Tennessee's defense, it will be very important for guys like Jeremy Banks and Aaron Beasley. And we'll see, is there a spy opportunity for Tennessee on defense? Because Kentucky did that, and it was very successful against Anthony Richardson. But if Tennessee's defense is able to slow down Anthony Richardson on the ground game and force him to throw the football, I think Tennessee's defense could have a very good day against Florida.
All right, very good, Josh. Thank you very much. When we come back, we do a deep dive into the matchups that will decide the Tennessee-Florida game. Specifically, where does Tennessee have the advantage over Florida? What are those spots? We'll discuss all that next on the Sports Source. Come on back.